Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and today we're going to do yet another distillery review. Now, kind of not fair to call it a distillery review. I just got done doing the Remus Repeal Reserve. Again, I had 3 of 6, so how much of a review is it if you only got 3? Now, Maker's Mark has been coming out with all sorts of stuff in the last several years. But I do have their standard everyday Maker's Mark. It's a 350 or a 375 that I got. So this is coming in at 90 proof. I have the Maker's 46. Um, a lot of people are really, really big fans of this Maker's 46. Now, I was not the biggest fan of this when I reviewed it last. I'm actually quite surprised there's that much whiskey out of it. My hunting partner, who is a big fan, must have been dipping into this. I can only imagine. But it's barrel finished with 10 French oak staves, 94 proof. Maker's 46. This is stave profile number 46 for the Maker's 46. And then my hunting partner also got me a Maker's Mark 101 limited release Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, handmade. Our signature family recipe, bottled at a higher proof, bottled at 101 proof. Those are the only 3 bottles that I have. I've kind of avoided buying other Maker's Mark products just because it was not something that I was a super huge fan. Now, Maker's Mark is my hunting partner's favorite whiskey. In fact, this poster here, which you probably can't see, do I dare? This is from my hunting partner. It's, dipping the bottles at Maker's Mark. And then behind the camera, which I'm not going to go get, is like a cutting board or cheese board kind of looking thing in the shape of Wisconsin that says Maker's Mark. And it's basically a bottle with the wax dripping down it, cut out into the shape of Wisconsin. And so, huge fan. And, of course, my bar decor is always augmented by my hunting partner. So thanks. Appreciate that. We're going to dive into these. We're going to see what we can find. Now, this is coming off the heels of 3 100 proof whiskeys with those Remus Repeals. Again, this is glass B with the regular Maker's Mark, glass C with the Maker's 46 in it. Take the wax off that. Boy, this might be a challenge here. There we go. Finally got into that. And you know what? Depending on what today brings, this might just be right up my alley. Now, as far as wheat whiskey goes, or wheated whiskeys, I have mixed feelings and opinions. I do have the Buffalo Trace wheated mash bill. They're I think I got the wheated one. Yeah. So their White Dog, the wheated mash bill. So like their Weller, their Pappy, that line comes from the wheated lineup. So when a lot of people compare wheated whiskeys, they'll compare Maker's Mark. I think Rebel 100 might be wheated. The Wellers. So I got Weller Antique 107. I'm trying to think what else is weeded under here. There's a lot of stuff that I have that's weeded. I just don't remember off the top of my head. And the weeded mash bills, for some reason, tend to not be my jam. I like the rye mash bills, the high rye mash bills, or just a standard nice high corn mash bill. I don't know why I tend to not lean into the wheated mash bills. They talk about it's softer on the palate and this and that, blah, 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 blah. Maybe, sure, I don't know. It just, if I'm blind tasting stuff, they tend not to be the thing that wins out for me. And you know what? That's okay. Maybe they're your favorite thing, and I have nothing against that. So that is why we compare distilleries, within distilleries, so that unless we're crossing mash bills, um, we're just comparing products to products. And of course, this is my own personal flavor profile, desires, likes, all that stuff. So this might not translate to mean anything to you, but if your palate matches mine, or if our noses line up, you might want to consider some of the things I have to say. So with that, I have no idea what is what here. We're going to get into this. Man, it's pretty light on the nose. I'm getting cherry blossom, a little bit of confectioner sugar vanilla, like vanilla extract. Not a whole lot's coming out of this. A little bit of light candied, hard candy. Like I'm picturing like those red hard candy balls that you used to get that had gum in the middle that were they were almost like a sucker without the stick. And I'm drawing a blank on the name. It was those barreled candies that you got at the grocery store where there was like a barrel and you got it by the pound. Brock's. It was almost like the Brock's. There was a red candied sucker thing that had gum in the middle. It's almost right in line with that, where it's like a candied cherry. And then the ethanol kind of picks up on the back end. A little bit of a graham cracker note. Interesting. Let's see what this one has. That almost smelled like a scotch off the nose. Like if I was just gonna, what that is, that's scotch. Kind of had a malty nose to it for a second, but it was kind of that vanilla, grainy, sugary sweet. The ethanol in both of these is really covering up. Like I smell alcohol more than actual nosing notes. It's covering up a lot of what I might find in here. Not that it's burning, it's just covering those nosing notes up. Once again, I get that same sharp, sweet, hard, baked cherry candy smell. A little brown sugar, a little vanilla. That was a little more graham cracker forward. This one, I'd say this smells more different than those two. Now, this is interesting. Okay, I don't know anything. Hopefully, I'm not setting myself up for failure here, but this smells different. So, if I had to guess, these two, one of these is the regular Maker's Mark, one of these is the 101. And this one, I think, smells like Maker's, or I would say this is Maker's 46. Now, keep in mind, I have not tasted or smelled any of these products in probably 2 years. Those have been sitting on my shelf, tucked away for a minimum of 2 years that I have not tasted, smelled, or anything. But this just smells so different from those two that I gotta believe that this is 46. Could be wrong. I have no idea. If you're looking here, you could probably see what it is. Yeah, these two just smell way more similar than this. But this also smells more proofy. So maybe that is just the 101. I don't know. We'll find out here in a minute. But just going back quickly, those were all very, very graham cracker forward on that nosing. So let's dive in. And that's why I don't like Maker's Mark. It was very nothing. And then so it was like watery thin up front. And then it hit this very solid wall of graham cracker and ethanol for flavor. And then a little bit of proofy bite mixed in with it. And that was kind of it. So that graham cracker is kind of like a little bit of vanilla, a lot of breadiness, a little bit of honey. There's not a lot going on there, and it was kind of dry on the tongue, and it drank hot. So unless that's the 101, if that's one of the 90 something, 90, 94 proofers, drinks a lot hotter than I want. And to me, that's what Weller tastes like. Doesn't matter which Weller it is, that's what it tastes like. I don't have a lot of good to say about that. So we're going to put that down to start with. Maybe it gets better. We'll see. That time, I got like a overly ripe apple, like something that's like 2 weeks past prime. Maybe it has some brown spots that are starting to rot on it. It's like a chocolate, like a milk chocolate. There's like a milk chocolate, like a Three Musketeers kind of a smell, along with like a cherry, like a chocolate covered cherry. It's kind of weird. Not a whole lot in there that I don't know. Again, nothing, nothing, nothing. Graham cracker, proof. That's it. I'm gonna say this is better than that just because the density of the graham cracker on this is higher. I don't taste anything, nothing, nothing, nothing. Maybe a little bit of vanilla, a huge burst of graham cracker, and then just a bitey proofiness on the back of my tongue that I'm not enjoying at all. Yeah, okay. So, not because I like it more, but just because to me they taste the same, but this has a denser flavor to it. On the nose again, that has a much sweeter, now having drank those, it has a much sweeter, that Brock's candy forward profile. A little bit of brown sugar and then some oak on the nose. Okay. So these two are extremely different, or like these two are this like cut from the same cloth. It tastes like this just seems like a higher proof version of that. This hit sweeter, lighter on the palate. Um, there was a light vanilla sugary sweetness that started. I mean, very very light, very watery thin, and then I hit this graham cracker, and then the oak on this was not very bitey, and it was not as proofy on the bite either. Still pretty meh. I'm gonna put that up there. So right now we're at 1, 2, and 3. Um, Nothing's blowing me away. I would say they're very thin on the flavor profile. They're like one hit and then a tannic, then a bitter note. Tannic, oak, proofy alcohol. Not very enjoyable. Just not a Maker's Mark fan. Sorry, hunting partner. Ah, the air conditioning just kicked on, so we'll see. Hopefully, I can get through this without that beating me down too much. Now, I do have a noise gate on, but I'm guessing in the background you're going to hear it when I go through it. But sorry, that's how it works when you're in my basement and it's 90 degrees outside. So, going back through, overripe apple, vanilla, oak, and graham cracker. Still watery thin, a little sweeter that time, more sugary, and then this weird, tannic. I don't know. I'm gonna drop that down. There's just this bitterness on the back of all of these that I'm just not digging. Some of it's ethanol, some of it's oak. None of it's good. So if you're a Maker's Mark fan, I am sorry. Apparently, I am not. Again, dense sweetness now this time. Like before, it wasn't very dense, but now it's like vanilla, dense caramel. Nothing, 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 nothing. Graham cracker, caramel, bitter, bitey. Not good. Tannic. I don't. Maybe 1, 2. I don't know. There's more flavors in this, but that doesn't. But it's not good flavor, so I'm like, eh. It's very bitey, very tannic, very bitter. Not digging it. This is now more creamy, milky, milk caramel, heavy on the cream. Super thin, but that's now number one, just because it has the least nasty, bitey funk. I don't know. D. Number one is the Maker's 101. In second place is B, Maker's 46. I think I called that one, did I not? Because this just is different than these two for sure. And then last place, the regular Maker's Mark. All right, let's switch this around. So we have 1, 2, 3. I don't know what to make of that other than, wait, sorry, I had these in order of proof, not in order of whatever. So that is correct. So B. That's not correct. Hard to keep the order straight when you've been drinking. So B, which is the first one, lowest proof, C saucy. There you go. I messed those up. Now how? I don't know what to tell you. Here's what I can say. I'm not a Maker's Mark fan. You mix it in something, great. It's cheap, reasonable whiskey. There's nothing that it is offering that I am extremely excited about. They're very watery thin up forward on all of them. And then this very tannic bitterness kind of kicks in on the tail end of it. There's a ton of factors that could play into all that, why I experience it that way. A, that's just what it could be, and I just don't like Maker's Mark. B, it could be the fact that I was coming off of very rich, oily, dense, 100 proof whiskeys on my previous reviews. And C, just all the other factors that go into how you experience a whiskey might be coming into play. Time of day, what I've had to eat, whether or not I'm tired, I don't know, all that stuff. Make of it what you will. I don't really care. Drop in the comments down below what you think of the Maker's Mark lineup. Again, these are the only 3 that I have. I know there's a lot of other Maker's Marks out there. I'm probably not going to be investing any money into those. So if that's what you are into, you're going to have to go to some other channel to get a review of them, because I'm not purchasing any others. As always, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Drop in the comments down below what you think of the lineup, what your favorite Maker's Mark is, if you're a fan, if you're not a fan, any of the experiences you have, and also if there's a product out there that I should absolutely try and it's reasonably priced, I might look into it. But as of right now, I'm not sold on Maker's Mark. I do appreciate my hunting partner giving me this bottle. I think I bought this bottle and this bottle. I always appreciate free whiskey. There's always a place for it. It's probably not in my weekend sipper, though. So, as always, thank you very much. You guys have yourselves a great day. We'll catch you in the next video.